Okay, imagine this. It's your senior prom. Like, the night, right, the one everyone's been buzzing about for months, this almost mythical high school milestone.
Yeah.
You're pulling into the parking lot, your stomach's doing flips, excitement, nerves, the whole deal. You're all set for the grand entrance with your, seemingly perfect date.
The big moment.
And then, bam, it happens. The words just hang there in the air, heavy, final. Your date dumps you. Just like that.
Yeah.
Right there, in the parking lot.
Oof, brutal.
Total panic sets in. Just this cold, sickening dread washes over you. You picture walking in totally alone, completely exposed, especially when you know there's someone inside, like an antagonist, just lurking, waiting for you to mess up, to fail.
Oh, yeah. The stakes feel impossibly high in that moment.
So what do you do, like in that exact moment? How do you possibly save face, protect your image, and somehow salvage what feels like, honestly, the most important night of your high school life?
That feeling, that visceral, gut-wrenching moment of just pure desperation, that's exactly what we're plunging into today, isn't it?
It really is.
It's such a fantastic hook because it instantly puts you, the listener, right in the shoes of someone facing this immense social pressure where everything feels on the line. So welcome, everyone, to the deep dive.
Yeah, welcome. Today we're dissecting this really fascinating story. It's all about that intricate dance of deception, unexpected self-discovery, and actually these surprising connections that kind of bloom when you're just trying to survive the wild, unpredictable ride that is high school drama.
And our mission today is to really unpack the journey of Gia. She's a high school senior whose life just gets completely turned upside down, really, in the span of one chaotic night.
It's not just about a prom night gone wrong, though, is it? It's about how she's forced to confront her own deepest insecurities, navigate this minefield of complex friendships, and ultimately figure out what truly matters, all while juggling this incredibly elaborate, very public lie.
Exactly. And our source material for this deep dive is, well, it's an extensive narrative. It's really rich with these vivid character interactions, internal monologues that reveal the why behind every action, and these pivotal moments that highlight the so what of even the smallest details.
Yeah, we're getting the inside scoop.
We really are. We're going to uncover those aha moments and some genuinely surprising turns that, don't just make a story compelling, but actually offer some truly impactful insights, I think, for all of us.
Okay, so let's pull back the curtain on this chaotic evening and really explore what we're calling the prom night dilemma and the birth of a lie.
Mm-hmm.
It all kicks off with the catalyst, prom night humiliation avoidance. So our main character, Gia, she's literally clinging to her date, Bradley. Her voice is cracking. Her brain is just completely hijacked by sheer desperation, not logic. That's how it's described.
Right. Logic is out the window.
Totally. And she explicitly admits internally that she needed her friends to see she had not been lying about having Bradley as a boyfriend, especially to counter the relentless, undermining claims of her rival, Jules. It's interesting how even in crisis mode, her primary concern is still managing how things look.
That's such a critical observation. Her desperation isn't just about the immediate breakup, right? It's this frantic attempt to shore up her entire social identity, which she feels is constantly under attack.
Yeah, it feels very fragile.
It really does. And this isn't just high school stuff. It mirrors the kind of impression management we all engage in throughout life, often without even thinking about it. What Gia is experiencing is like a textbook example of ego defense mechanisms kicking in this desperate attempt to protect a fragile self-concept from what feels like social annihilation.
And Bradley's breakup happening right there in the parking lot. It's so brutally public. His reason is just cutting. You only care about your friends seeing me. And Gia, in her raw internal monologue, she actually concedes, okay, so it was kind of true, but only because of Jules. So it's not just a broken heart. It's about this shattered illusion and the social fallout she knows is coming.
And that social fallout is massively amplified by Jules. She's not just some minor annoyance. She's painted as this truly insidious antagonist. Gia describes her as having infiltrated our group a year ago and ever so slowly tried to turn my best friends against me.
Wow.
Yeah, Gia even believes Jules is at least 1/4 evil, which is quite a statement.
That's intense.
It is. And this kind of calculated, social status-driven antagonism is particularly potent in a high school setting, would you say? For Gia, this rivalry just elevates every tiny detail into this major potential conflict.
Absolutely. Jules represents this constant external threat to Gia's carefully built image. Her mere presence implies scrutiny, judgment, and then there's the prom queen detail.
Oh, right. That just raises the stakes even higher.
Exactly. The possibility of Gia being crowned royalty that night, only to have to walk in totally alone. That would be like a public declaration of her failure, right?
Right.
A huge victory for Jules, and basically a confirmation of Gia's deepest fears about her own inadequacy.
It intensifies her desperation to avoid humiliation at all costs, making her vulnerable to these really drastic measures. The thought of Jules' smug face, seeing her walk in without a date, Gia just can't bear it. It's that fear of losing status, I think, even more than losing the boyfriend, that truly drives her next move.
So with Bradley gone, her world absolutely crumbling, Gia finds herself just leaning against a red truck, wallowing in misery. And then she catches the eye of a guy in the driver's seat.
Enter the unlikely recruit.
Exactly. This is where the unlikely recruit, Hayden's mysterious agreement, comes into play. Gia, in this frantic, almost unhinged plea, pitches him the idea of being her fill-in boyfriend.
Just like that, to a total stranger.
Pretty much. And her initial assessment of him is so revealing, almost comically so. She thinks, he really didn't look like my type. My friends would know this. Even in total desperation, that social filter is just incredibly strong.
It's a fascinating paradox, isn't it? Her world is collapsing, and her primary thought is still, would my friends approve of his type?
Right.
It speaks volumes about the societal pressures, especially on young women, to maintain a certain image, even when everything's falling apart.
Right.
Hayden's reaction, though, is just priceless. He's skeptical, asking, you want me to pretend to be Captain America? Referencing Bradley's supposedly beefier build.
And he's wearing this slightly out-of-place telephone booth shirt, apparently. It just adds to his whole non-prom-like vibe.
Totally. His eventual agreement is almost reluctant, just a simple, fine. You get the sense he's not thrilled, but there's this maybe underlying sense of quiet obligation.
Yeah.
Or perhaps just sheer curiosity that makes him say yes.
And then, that critical moment of doubt, he actually drives away. Yeah. And Gia is left there, wondering if that was just his way of getting out of this whole thing. She's bracing herself, thinking she has to face the music, accept the humiliation.
My heart sinks just thinking about it.
But then, his headlights cut through the darkness, casting her shadow on the asphalt as he returns. This moment is absolutely pivotal. It's his surprising, quiet commitment to her completely outlandish request. He's a man of his word, even to a complete stranger.
That return is huge. It's not just a plot device. It immediately establishes Hayden as someone who, despite his initial reluctance, actually follows through. It sets him apart.
Definitely.
And it also plants that first seed of genuine curiosity for Gia about who this guy really is. It forces her, maybe for the first time, to look beyond her superficial judgment of him.
Which sets the stage perfectly for crafting the deception, Bradley's fictional persona. Gia has to quickly brief Hayden on the elaborate details of Bradley Harris.
It's the fake boyfriend handbook.
Pretty much. Okay, so junior at UCLA, 21 years old, crucially, 4 years older than Gia, which is something her parents disapprove of, adding another layer. And the plan is for him to break up with her quickly and quietly at the end of the night to minimize drama.
Got it. Keep it clean.
But they hit their first snag almost immediately. The eye color problem. The real Bradley apparently has melty chocolate brown eyes,
Okay.
while Hayden's are crystal blue.
Uh-oh. That's noticeable.
Right. Gia's impulsive solution, just try not to make eye contact with anyone.
Scoffs. Good luck with that at prom.
Seriously, it's an utterly impossible task at a huge social event, especially one where everyone's checking everyone else out. This tiny detail immediately signals how precarious their lie is. It really underscores Gia's impulsive, panicked thinking versus Hayden's more practical, if maybe silently skeptical vibe.
And to add another layer of peril, Gia admits her friends have actually seen a few pictures of the real Bradley.
Oh,
Yeah, though apparently from a distance, or maybe just have his face, still it makes the resemblance, or lack thereof, a ticking time bomb.
definitely raises the stakes.
You've really highlighted a key point there. These tiny details, like eye color, they're often what completely unravel elaborate deceptions. It's almost funny, the tension of it, but it's also deeply revealing about Gia's panic state. And this is where Hayden's perceptive nature first starts to shine through. He quickly points out the logical flaw in her whole story, saying something like, and yet he broke up with you in the parking lot before he actually did.
Good point.
Right. It's not just a casual observation. It highlights Gia's tunnel vision, how her desperation is making her overlook these glaring inconsistencies. It shows Hayden is paying attention, thinking critically, not just blindly following orders. That really sets him apart from Gia's usual circle right away.
So their first encounter with her friends, it's just pure, unadulterated social theater. Jules' reaction is described as priceless. First this smug smile, then followed by a slight drop of her jaw.
Ooh, you can just picture it. The gears turning in Jules' head, analyzing every angle, trying to find the crack in Gia's story. The silent challenge is just hanging there in the air.
Totally palpable.
Yeah.
But Hayden is surprisingly smooth, almost instinctively smooth.
Really? How so?
He just slips his arm around Gia's waist, pulls her close, and declares with this air of genuine concern it was important to Gia.
Nice.
Which makes Gia's back tingle, apparently, and forces her to kind of lean into him and sigh happily as part of the performance.
Wow. He commits to the role.
He really does. It's not just good acting. It feels like this immediate instinctive commitment to the plan, which surprises both Gia and, us as listeners.
But Jules, ever the antagonist, she keeps probing, right?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
She asks Hayden, I'm surprised you wanted to come to a high school prom. It's a clear, pointed jab at the fabricated age difference, trying to catch them out right from the start.
Testing the waters.
Exactly. And Gia's internal monologue here is incredibly revealing about the deeper stuff going on. She admits Jules had been working on this, trying to dig up dirt for 2 months, trying to find ammo. She was convinced Jules had something on me. And her biggest fear, the real driving force behind the lie, was this. I was worried that no matter how much confidence I'd shown on the outside, deep down people didn't like me, and that maybe they were right not to. She's terrified her friends might actually choose Jules over her. It's this fundamental anxiety about her own self-worth.
That completely reframes her motivation, doesn't it? The lie isn't just about saving face from the breakup. It's this desperate attempt to hold on to her entire social identity, which she feels is constantly under threat.
Yeah.
She's grappling with this really deep-seated insecurity, this fear that her outward confidence is just a facade that could crumble at any second. And in this incredibly tense moment, Hayden observes something interesting. He says, "You like analogies, don't you?"
Oh, right. And Gia responds, yes, I do. Words are powerful.
It's such an early, subtle sign of Hayden's perceptive nature. His ability to see beyond the surface performance, beyond the social anxieties, it hints at this deeper, maybe more intellectual connection they might form later. He's already seeing her in a way her friends, maybe even she herself, doesn't quite yet.
So as Gia is navigating the immediate aftermath of prom night, her interactions with Hayden start to unexpectedly pull back the curtain on his world, leading us into unveiling identities and entangled loyalties.
Okay.
On the drive home from prom, Gia's mind is just buzzing with this lingering curiosity. She's thinking, why had he agreed to be my fake date anyway? He said it wasn't my smile, but we'd been interrupted before he'd answered what it really was. Curiosity burned in my chest. Her focus is subtly but significantly shifting from her own anxieties to the enigma that is Hayden.
That curiosity is a huge turning point, isn't it? It signals a shift in Gia's focus, away from just superficial concerns and self-preservation towards genuine interest in another person. It's really an early step towards true connection.
Definitely. And it's during this playful game of 20 questions in the car that Gia finally learns Hayden's real name.
Okay, the big reveal.
He reveals he was named after the poet Robert Hayden. And that his mother's love for Monet's water lilies and some accompanying poem inspired his name.
Wow. That immediately paints a different picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
More artistic, thoughtful, maybe even sensitive than Gia, with her initial sort of dismissive assessment had assumed.
Totally. And his family turns out to be wonderfully quirky. A really stark contrast to Gia's own perfect family billboard image she feels she has to maintain.
Tell me more.
Okay, so we meet Olivia, his eccentric artist mother, who apparently sees everyone as a potential muse and paints really unusual subjects like the example given is a half insect, half zebra face splitting open to reveal a blooming flower.
Chuckles. Okay, definitely eccentric. I love it.
Right. And then there's his sister, Beck. Now, Gia actually knows Beck from her government class, but she didn't recognize her at prom at all because Beck was dressed like a heavy metal band member.
Huh. That's brilliant. So it's clear this is a household that really embraces individuality.
Completely. It's fascinating how quickly Hayden's family introduces this entirely different value system into Gia's world, one that seems to celebrate authenticity and eccentricity over, social polish and fitting in.
And Beck then drops another bombshell, right? About her attitude in class.
Yeah. She reveals her previous antagonism toward Gia in government class was basically just a social experiment.
A social experiment? Seriously?
Apparently. She even playfully calls Gia's earlier comment about her band a bigger offense than not recognizing her at prom. This interaction immediately establishes this complex, maybe slightly prickly dynamic within Hayden's family, and it hints at the layers beneath Beck's tough exterior.
And it also challenges Gia's own perceptions, right? Making her aware of her own past actions or judgments that she wasn't fully conscious of.
Exactly. This new family dynamic quickly brings us to Beck's agenda, keeping Hayden from ex-girlfriend Eve.
Ah, the ex-girlfriend.
Trouble brewing. Seems like it. Beck discovers an invitation to Eve's graduation party and immediately panics. She feels that Hayden, even though he claims he just wants closure, will try to get back with his ex.
Sisters know.
Apparently. This sets the stage for yet another elaborate deception, a continuation of the fake boyfriend saga. But this time, Beck is the one pulling the strings.
And Beck is definitely the mastermind here, isn't she? She basically orchestrates Gia becoming Hayden's new girlfriend for this party, and she explicitly tells Gia, you owe him for the prom night favor.
Right, calling in the debt.
Exactly. And Gia's internal struggle is really telling. Here, I'd thought he had been the mastermind behind this plan and that Beck had reluctantly arranged it, but he didn't want this at all.
That's crucial. It shows Hayden's genuine reluctance, maybe even a lingering vulnerability about Eve, and it highlights Beck's fierce determination to protect her brother from getting hurt again.
Hayden admits he's going for closure, but Beck is completely convinced it's for one of two much less healthy reasons. She thinks, one, she wants to rub in your face how happy she is, or two, she's dumped him and wants you back.
And Beck explicitly says to Hayden, I think you might just be crazy enough to take her back.
Ouch. But probably true. She knows her brother, recognizes his emotional patterns, maybe his tendency to fall back into old habits. She's determined to prevent him from repeating past mistakes, even if it means manipulating the situation a little bit.
It's a really poignant insight into Hayden's emotional vulnerability and the complex, fiercely protective dynamic within his family. Beck understands that his talk about closure might just be a thin veil for deeper, unresolved feelings.
So now we get to the graduation party, Gia as Hayden's friend versus girlfriend. And interestingly, Gia observes Hayden here as cuter than I remembered, even with his shaggy hair.
Ah, a little spark.
Seems like it. This subtle detail shows her attraction is definitely growing, moving beyond that initial superficial assessment into something a bit more genuine.
And this leads to that unexpectedly intimate moment, Gia applying gel to Hayden's hair, playfully calling it super support.
Right.
And she notes his gaze seemed to search my soul, which really closes the emotional distance between them in a way that goes far beyond just a casual interaction. This little ritual, born out of necessity for the deception, inadvertently fosters this genuine connection that starts to transcend their fake relationship.
That ritual of hairstyling is such a brilliant narrative device. It creates this little bubble of intimacy, forcing them into physical and emotional closeness. And the setting, Eve's house backing up to the ocean, provides this picturesque but really tense backdrop for the drama about to unfold. Beautiful scenery, but underlying emotional turmoil.
Totally. And Hayden then makes this really bold declaration. He introduces Gia to Eve and her new boyfriend Ryan as my girlfriend Gia.
Wow, he goes there.
He does, and he follows it up with a lingering kiss on the cheek. This completely surprises Gia, who then has this moment of clarity. She acutely realizes Eve is interested in option number one, making absolutely sure Hayden still pined for her while she was happily with someone else. It's all about validating her own ego at his expense.
Ugh, that's manipulative.
Exactly. Gia observes that Hayden was clearly trying to make Eve jealous, and also that it was obvious it was working. And this becomes a significant turning point for Gia's loyalty.
How so?
She leans her shoulder against Hayden and suddenly finds herself completely on board with Beck's plan of keeping this girl far away from Hayden. She's actively choosing to protect him now, moving beyond just fulfilling an obligation to this place of genuine, empathetic concern for his emotional well-being.
That shift is incredibly significant. It represents a pivotal moment in Gia's emotional maturity. We see her moving beyond the purely transactional nature of her initial deal with Hayden and developing real empathy, this profound investment in another person's feelings, untainted by her own desperate self-preservation from prom night.
Yeah, it's a big step.
And after the party, Hayden apologizes to Gia for pulling the whole girlfriend act. He admits, I just wanted a little justice, some karma or whatever. But then he has this crucial realization. Revenge is never the answer. Which shows his growing maturity and self-awareness, too. He can reflect on his own motivations and recognize the futility of holding on to bitterness.
This brings us nicely to Hayden's past hurt, the Eve and Ryan betrayal. We get hints of it earlier, but now it comes more into focus. Hayden vaguely refers to his demons and mentions ones that should already be worked out, implying this deep, lingering pain and unresolved trauma from his past relationship with Eve. He doesn't spell it all out, but the hurt and its profound impact on him are really palpable.
And later, it's tragically revealed that Spencer, who was supposed to be one of Hayden's closest friends, was the one who actually betrayed him with Eve.
Oh, wow. That's rough.
Isn't it? Hayden says something like, he was willing to turn his back on a lifelong friendship for a girl. This explains so much about Hayden's profound trust issues and his reluctance to maybe open up or invest too deeply in relationships, romantic or otherwise.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And Gia also has this realization that Hayden felt left out and lonely among his more athletic friends, which is actually why he tried out for baseball in the first place. His confession, this moment of real vulnerability where he asks Gia, I don't really relate to them like you want to, connects him deeply to Gia's own unspoken feelings of not being truly seen or understood by her own peer group. They find common ground in that feeling of being slightly outside.
Moving forward in Gia's journey, we arrive at a section we're calling self-reflection and sibling revelry and rivalry. And this part, it really digs into Gia's internal world and delivers a major blow to her self-perception.
Ah, the infamous film.
Exactly. Drew, Gia's older brother, receives this big award at UCLA for his short film, Reprogramming a Generation, which becomes the unexpected vehicle for Gia's public humiliation. And the film is shown at this end-of-year awards ceremony, making the context incredibly public and deeply personal for her.
Drew's documentary is clearly designed to provoke, right? To hold a mirror up to modern society. His voiceover questions are just incredibly incisive. How is self-worth measured today? By the amount of likes a post gets, by how many friends we collect, by how many retweets we accumulate. He continues, do we even know what we really think until we post our thoughts online and let others tell us if they are worthy? He's not just critiquing social media's impact on identity and self-validation. He's dissecting the very architecture of perceived value in the digital age. And that theme is directly relevant to Gia's earlier struggles with needing external approval.
And Gia is the unwilling, completely unsuspecting star of this critique.
Right. The film features this damning footage of her, just glued to her phone, meticulously checking likes, anxiously asking how many likes now, and then celebrating 40 likes, 5 retweets.
Cringe.
Totally. While her on-screen self is beaming, her real-life self in the audience is just looking down, feeling utterly numb. It's this deeply uncomfortable, almost voyeuristic experience for her, exposing her most vulnerable insecurities to this room full of strangers and peers.
Drew's speech continues his powerful critique, too, focusing on the addiction of the need for validation and asking, what is this addiction creating, and is it too late to undo the damage? Meanwhile, Gia is mortified, feeling totally exposed. She sunk lower in her chair, not a fan of being the poster child for his mocking take on society.
And the sting is amplified when some college student actually points her out afterward, saying, that was you in that film, and you had your phone out all through the ceremony. So ironic.
Oh, that's just twisting the knife.
Exactly. And Drew's subsequent defense, claiming he should have told you about it and that the audience was supposed to see themselves in you, just rings completely hollow and self-serving. There's no real apology for the profound public humiliation he just put her through.
This triggers Gia's reaction and internal conflict. Shallow, idiotic girl. Her initial visceral desire is just to punch him.
Understandable.
But later, in this moment of raw honesty, she admits to Hayden, the problem is that it's true. I am that person. She genuinely worries she is possibly the most shallow person on earth. It's this profound, albeit incredibly painful moment of self-realization for her, stripping away all her previous defenses.
This emotional turmoil leads her to Hayden's mom, Olivia, who offers this profound wisdom on the porch, swinging such a stark contrast to the lack of support from Gia's own family.
Why? Gia just pours out her heart, confessing, I'm the most shallow person on the face of the earth. I've decided I have absolutely no depth. I'm devoid of tragedy and therefore have no wisdom or insights to offer.
Wow, she's really beating herself up.
She is. But Olivia's powerful counterargument just cuts through Gia's self-deprecating narrative like a laser. My son doesn't like shallow girls, so there must be a lot more to you.
Boom. Simple, direct, powerful.
Exactly. It isn't just comforting, it offers Gia this vital external validation of her inherent worth, completely separate from social media metrics or superficial appearances. It's a moment of true, unconditional acceptance, maybe the first she's really felt.
Gia's painful self-examination continues, though. She re-watches the full video at home, trying desperately to see it as just some other 17-year-old girl. but she still feels utterly humiliated for the girl with the social media addiction.
And the added sting, which feels like a key emotional turning point, is the realization that Hayden, the person she's growing to deeply care for, had seen this raw, vulnerable, and deeply unflattering side of her.
That must have been mortifying for her.
Totally. Her subsequent confrontation with Drew is just raw and honest. She tells him, "Your film managed to do that better than Facebook ever has for me, Drew. It made me feel like crap, like some shallow, idiotic girl who doesn't even know her own mind." She's finally articulating her hurt, her self-doubt, and the profound impact his actions had on her.
And this internal struggle is starkly contrasted with the parental responses, the perfect facade versus open communication. Claire's earlier comment about Gia's family belonging on a perfect family billboard and Gia's own thought that her parents always seem to do everything by the book perfectly sets up this dynamic.
Yeah, you see it coming.
Right. Their parents' reaction to Drew's film is just disturbingly dismissive. They praise it as an interesting piece on the changing culture and a very well-done piece. We're proud of it.
Seriously, after what it did to Gia.
Exactly. This complete lack of empathy for Gia's profound hurt, prioritizing keeping the peace and maintaining their image of a successful family over addressing Gia's actual emotional pain. It's a crucial revelation about their so-called perfect facade.
And Drew, surprisingly, kind of illuminates this further, doesn't he?
He does. He later explains his own actions, telling Gia that their parents don't make us accountable for anything. It turned me into a crappy person. I was hoping they'd do better with you.
Wow. That's a powerful critique of their upbringing. And it sheds light on Drew's own complex, maybe misguided motivations.
Definitely. And in response to her parents' dismissiveness, Gia's decision to drive over to Beck's house isn't just a simple journey. It's described as a slightly rebellious act. It signifies this deeper shift in her understanding and her pursuit of genuine connection away from her family's stifling perfectionism.
She starts to understand Drew in a new light, too, thinking, I'd always thought he was trying to rock the boat, when maybe really all he was ever doing was expressing a different opinion. Maybe it was time I started expressing mine.
That is such a profound turning point for Gia, recognizing her own need for authenticity and agency. Stepping out from under the shadow of her parents' expectations. It leads directly into Beck's insights, her complex relationship with Hayden, her observations of Gia.
Right. And despite their earlier friction and Beck's initial social experiment, Beck offers Gia this unexpected, totally unfiltered support.
Yeah, she steps up, surprisingly.
She defends Gia against that mocking girl after the film ceremony. And later she tells Gia, with her characteristic bluntness, "You were that person you want anymore. You seem to be trying harder lately."
Chuckles. Classic Beck.
Totally. She lists the evidence. You said hi to me at school in front of your friends. You helped my brother out with Eve, and we've been together for 8 hours now, and I don't want to strangle you.
It's Beck's unique, yet incredibly powerful way of acknowledging Gia's tangible growth and effort. She sees the change.
Beck also provides some really invaluable insight into her complex family dynamics. She explains that growing up, Hayden forced us to play stupid games. We fought a lot and laughed a lot and learned a lot. It paints this picture of a childhood rich with shared experiences and deep connection, despite the playful sibling rivalry.
You get a sense of their bond.
And then Beck makes this genuine admission that clearly means the world to Gia. "I like you, Gia. No matter how much I tried to convince myself not to, I actually like you." This raw honesty is such a breath of fresh air for Gia, who's so accustomed to facades and hidden agendas.
And then there's Beck's unconventional scream therapy.
Oh, yeah, where she encourages Gia to just vent her pent-up anger and frustration, either into a pillow or just out loud.
It provides Gia with this much-needed cathartic release, right? A powerful way to express emotions she had long suppressed, kept hidden beneath that veneer of perfection she felt she had to maintain.
Definitely. Beck also shares that poignant anecdote about Hayden believing her lie about a popsicle when they were kids.
Right, illustrating his deep, unwavering loyalty, sometimes even to a fault.
Exactly. And her final poignant insight is truly resonant. "I think you and my brother are good together. You make him more confident, and he makes you more relaxed."
That's not just an observation.
Yeah.
It's this profound recognition of their mutual positive influence and the authentic connection that's clearly blossoming between them. Beck sees it too.
So, as Gia grapples with all this self-discovery and these new perspectives, her existing friendships on the brink and the truth unleashed really takes center stage.
Yeah, the chickens come home to roost.
Pretty much. Jules, our relentless antagonist, remains persistently suspicious. Her digital detective work includes using Gia's own laptop to search for Bradley Harris at UCLA, meticulously looking for any evidence of the fabricated boyfriend.
Still digging.
Oh, yeah. And later she tells Claire she saw Drew's video online. It just highlights Jules' ongoing determination to uncover Gia's lies, showcasing her almost obsessive need to expose Gia.
It really speaks to the destructive power of that kind of relentless antagonism, which probably stems from her own deep-seated insecurity, right? There's this escalating hostility, especially during a beach confrontation where Jules mocks Beck's friends, calling them freak alert, and even throws sand. Right. Her pointed question to Gia, "Since when do you show charity to the freaks?" reveals her cynical perception of Gia's past snobbery and her deep distrust of Gia's newfound, more authentic connections. It's not just a high school spat, it's this clash of different social worlds and deeply ingrained values. It's a real test of Gia's evolving character.
Interestingly, though, amidst all this rising tension, there's that temporary truce moment at In-Out where Jules actually says, "I'm sorry about Hayden."
Really? Jules apologizes.
Apparently, it gives Gia this burst of hope. It's fleeting, but it suggests maybe a flicker of humanity beneath Jules' tough exterior, a crack in the armor that Gia, now more empathetic herself, might be able to recognize.
That's interesting. Then comes the bombshell, right? The cohabitation twist.
Yeah. Claire reveals that Jules is actually moving in with me for the rest of the year because her mom is running from some guy again.
Whoa. Okay, that provides crucial context.
Totally. It suddenly gives context for Jules' often erratic and defensive behavior. It transforms her from just a one-dimensional villain into this much more complex character dealing with her own profound struggles and instability. And poor Claire is caught in the middle, trying to foster peace between her two friends.
That revelation is vital for adding layers to Jules' character. It shows her antagonism likely stems from her own instability and pain, allowing Gia and us to see her with a new, albeit difficult, sense of empathy.
Right, so now for Gia's attempts at honesty and reconciliation with friends. Claire, who's already noticing Gia seems different lately, distant, directly asks her, "Are you and Jules fighting again?"
And Gia initially tries to dodge it.
Yeah, initially still clinging to old habits, she tries to glaze over questions about Beck or Jules, continuing that pattern of avoidance.
But there's a definite shift in perspective happening for Gia. She has this realization with stark clarity. I hadn't even realized I'd been that person until now, referring to her previous self-absorbed nature.
That new self-awareness prompts her to make that momentous first apology attempt at the school rally.
Right, the public confession.
She publicly confesses, "I lied. I've been lying to my friends for the past month or so, mainly because I didn't trust that my friends would still be my friends if I told the truth, and also because I was very self-absorbed and wasn't thinking beyond my own problems."
How does that go over?
Well, the audience's response is kind of tragically telling. Nothing. You're still hot.
Oof. That highlights the very superficiality she's trying to escape, doesn't it? How deeply ingrained her image is in her social world, regardless of her attempt at honesty.
Exactly. And despite the public apology, Claire, who clearly values genuine connection, gives Gia this chillingly cold look after the rally. It shows that words alone are nearly enough to immediately mend the profound rift caused by the broken trust. The damage runs deep.
So Gia realizes she needs to do more.
Yeah. She realizes she had to deal with this on a more personal level. She makes this determined effort to reach out to Claire, driving to her house. And with raw vulnerability, she confesses, "There's no excuse for what I've done."
But it doesn't go well, does it?
No. When Gia visits, Claire's mother actually positions her body to block the way into the house.
Wow. A human shield.
Pretty much. It's this powerful nonverbal signal of just how severe the impact of Gia's betrayal has been on their family and friendship. It emphasizes the depth of the hurt Gia has caused.
The ultimate, most public betrayal, however, comes next in the real Bradley. Drew's ill-fated makeup gift exposes Gia.
This scene. So they're at In-N-Out, and Drew arrives with what he disingenuously claims is a makeup gift for Gia after the whole film fiasco.
But Gia's instincts are screaming, right?
Oh, yeah. Her instincts, now sharpened by everything she's been through, immediately sense trouble. She thinks if Jules was involved, this couldn't be good. That fleeting burst of hope she had that maybe Jules was genuinely trying to make amends just completely evaporates.
And her intuition is tragically correct. Because Drew, with this self-satisfied flourish, proudly introduces the real Bradley.
The quote is, Not fill-in Bradley, the real-life, honest-to-goodness, in-the-flesh Bradley.
Oh, God. True.
I know. Gia's scream of no comes 1 second too late. And the physical description of this Bradley, his beefy arms and perfectly arranged hair, just emphasizes how much he truly is Gia's original type. It's this stark, almost painful contrast to the authentic, shaggy-haired Hayden she has come to know and care for.
The aftermath must be utterly devastating for Gia.
Completely. Jules has this flash of vindication, her long-awaited moment of triumph. Claire's face just looks as though Gia had been lying to her for the last month, pure disappointment and shattered trust. And Lainey's shocked question, wait, you're Bradley, UCLA Bradley, just confirms the deception is fully unraveled right there in front of everyone. This is undeniably Gia's lowest point. Exposed, humiliated.
And the ultimate betrayal isn't just about the lie being exposed, is it? It's also Drew.
Exactly. Drew's expression of disgust and his self-satisfied look basically affirm the whole message of his earlier video about validation and superficiality. It just doubles Gia's humiliation.
Her raw emotion is palpable as she wishes in that moment. For a brother like Bex who would defend me even if I stole a popsicle. It highlights the acute pain of feeling utterly alone and unsupported by her own family in her moment of greatest need.
And the continued coldness from Claire's mother, physically blocking Gia later, just underscores the severity of the broken trust and the profound impact of Gia's actions on her friendships and her entire social circle. It's just rock bottom.
That truly sounds like rock bottom for Gia. A moment of profound isolation. But, sometimes from that rock bottom, new foundations can actually be built. Let's move into confrontation, vulnerability, and new beginning.
Okay. The first major challenge to Gia's budding relationship with Hayden is Spencer's deception and trust issues. This unfolds at the theater, right?
Mm-hmm. Spencer, Hayden's supposed friend, approaches Gia and crudely asks her how much she charged for a date, claiming Hayden told him about their arrangement.
Ugh. It's so offensive and objectifying. And Gia, understandably, slaps him instinctively.
This incident creates this massive rift between Gia and Hayden, immediately leading to a classic blame game. Gia texts Hayden this furious message. Since you told your friend I was a hooker, I thought maybe you had the wrong idea about us.
But Hayden's genuinely confused, isn't he?
Totally. He reveals Spencer's completely fabricated story that Gia just got really mad, said a few choice words, then left. Spencer completely omitted his own egregious behavior, throwing Gia under the bus.
And this feeds directly into Hayden's doubt, tapping right into his own deep-seated trust issues from the Eve Spencer betrayal.
Exactly. He struggles internally, caught between these two conflicting accounts, one from a lifelong friend, the other from this relatively new, albeit significant, connection. He asks Gia, one of my best friends is telling me one thing, and you're telling me the complete opposite. Can you understand why I might be a little conflicted?
And then he delivers that painful, almost accusatory question. You seem to have a history of lying. Which hits Gia with particular force given her recent public humiliation and her whole journey towards trying to be honest.
Gia's response, her painful truth, is this careful, raw admission. It's really a testament to her newfound commitment to honesty, even when it hurts. She tells Hayden, for the record, I may be a lot of things, selfish, shallow, snobby, but prom night with you was the first time I'd ever lied to my friends.
That's a huge admission.
It is. And then she bravely confesses her reasons for not immediately telling him the truth about Spencer in the first place. You liked him, so I thought I'd give him the benefit of the doubt instead of tattling on him to you.
Wow. That shows remarkable character growth, actually. Prioritizing Hayden's feelings, trying to protect him, even at her own emotional expense after Spencer was so awful to her.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But the pain of being misunderstood, especially by someone she's grown to trust and care for so deeply, is profound for Gia. She delivers this final, controlled statement brimming with self-respect. Yes, I can understand. And I'm sure you can understand why I can't be friends or whatever this was with someone who doesn't trust me. And she adds, and what Spencer did to me, that's not okay. It's this powerful moment of her standing up for herself and her boundaries, even when it means potentially walking away from someone she cares about. She's prioritizing her self-worth over just keeping the relationship going.
That difficult but necessary stand leads right into the emotional climax. Confession of feelings, mutual understanding, the first kiss.
And Beck, surprisingly, provides crucial intervention here.
Yeah, despite her usual snark and pragmatism.
Right. She expresses unwavering belief in Gia, telling Hayden, I totally believe you, and I told Hayden as much. She strongly criticizes Spencer, demonstrating her fierce loyalty to both Gia and her brother. She even recounts the popsicle story again, illustrating Hayden's deep loyalty, maybe even to a fault. which helps Gia understand the depth of his character and maybe why he was so conflicted.
Gia, however, is still grappling with continued anger, feeling emotionally stuck in a car trying to figure out things on my own and just mad at Haiti for implicitly calling her a liar after everything.
But then, Hayden demonstrates immense vulnerability. This is a defining moment for him. He appears at Will's place, where Gia is staying, and offers her the baseballs they use for the scream therapy.
Oh, wow.
He asks her, with genuine remorse, do you want to throw a few at the actual person those are intended for, or is the car satisfying enough? He openly confesses his trust issues from the past and, more importantly, admits, plus I like you too much. His heartfelt apology, I'm an idiot and I'm sorry, completely disarms Gia, breaking down her remaining defenses.
In this moment of Hayden's profound vulnerability and raw honesty, Gia experiences this profound self-discovery. She articulates how her all those superficial desires that used to guide her is gone.
Yeah.
And she bravely declares her new desires, born from genuine introspection. I want to go to college, and I'm going to use my scholarship to study political science and hope that I can make a difference in the world one day.
That is such a pivotal shift. Moving beyond superficial social validation to this genuine, purpose-driven future. It's a powerful statement of self-acceptance, ambition, and a desire to contribute meaningfully to the world. She found her voice.
She really did. The build-up to a kiss that follows is beautifully crafted, full of this playful banter that only two people with a deep, authentic connection can really share. Hayden playfully repeats a line Gia used on him earlier, don't do it unless you mean it.
And her response, I mean it, feels totally heartfelt and genuine, signaling her full commitment in that moment.
He playfully prefaces the kiss too, saying something like, I feel like this is the biggest build-up to a kiss ever. That no matter what I do, you're going to be disappointed, which just builds the anticipation perfectly.
But the kiss itself is clearly everything. It's described with warmth, a deepening embrace, and Gia's hands in his hair, not needing an excuse to touch him this time.
Yes.
This is the moment their genuine connection solidifies. They move beyond pretense, past the lies, navigated through vulnerability, and arrived at this authentic, shared emotion. It's a true turning point in their relationship, a physical manifestation of their deeper bond.
Alongside Gia's personal journey of self-discovery, there's also this significant family reconciliation unfolding within her own household, leading to a new dynamic with her parents and Drew.
Right, things shifting there too.
Gia's earlier cutting comment to her mom, why not? You do, referencing her mom's habit of hiding from problems, clearly made her mom look sad. Her mom's quiet offering of the car keys later is this subtle but profound gesture of understanding and empathy. It feels like a crack in their long-standing, perfect family facade.
And Drew, in a rare and remarkably genuine moment of vulnerability, actually offers Gia a sincere apology.
Yeah.
I'm really, truly sorry, Gia. I messed up.
Yeah, finally.
Right. He then offers crucial context, explaining his actions by highlighting their parents' tendency to avoid accountability, which, he admits, turned me into a crappy person. I was hoping they'd do better with you.
That finally gives Gia a deeper understanding of her brother's complex motivations and his own struggles within their family dynamic. It really offers a path to empathy for her, too.
Definitely. This marks a profound shift in sibling dynamics. They have this meaningful conversation about their parents, acknowledging their flaws, and reflecting on their own growth. Gia even throws that playful jab at Dree, a clear sign of their mending relationship. One day you're going to meet a girl who knocks you down a few pegs. I really hope she's a Twitter addict.
Chuckles. That's great. It's a return to playful teasing, but now it's based on this new foundation of honesty and mutual understanding.
And the emotional climax of their family reconciliation is when Gia's mom finally hugs her back properly. And Gia, in this small but significant gesture, messes up her mom's perfectly kept hair.
Oh.
This small, imperfect act of physical affection, breaking through years of carefully maintained appearances, signals this true breakthrough in their perfect family dynamic. It moves them toward a more authentic and emotionally connected relationship. It's a powerful symbol of acceptance, healing, and the messy beauty of real familial love.
Okay, so as we wrap up Gia's incredible journey, let's look quickly at future steps and lingering questions. Gia has come such a long way, and her path forward seems strikingly clear and purpose-driven now.
Yeah, she seems much more grounded.
Definitely. She gives that powerful rally speech redux, bravely apologizing publicly again and really owning her mistakes. Her commitment is clear and unwavering. I'm trying to be better. I want to be better.
This public declaration isn't just an apology, it's really a testament to her profound transformation and her commitment to living more ethically, more authentically. She even organizes that successful sober grad night, featuring Nate's band, Marcus's band, actually.
Right.
This event, which maybe initially started as just a resume builder, transforms into this powerful symbol of her growth and newfound purpose. It's a contribution to her community that stems from a place of genuine care, rather than just self-interest.
And this shift is vividly evident in her changing perceptions at grad night itself. She notices that eyes drifted past mine without thought or interest and realizes it didn't sting as much as I thought it would.
That's significant.
Yeah. She thinks, I didn't deserve to be noticed any more than anyone else, especially because I rarely tried to notice people back. It just illustrates her evolving self-worth, no longer tied to external social approval or the fleeting gaze of others.
And her future is concrete and purposeful. UCLA and political science. She has a clear plan for college, a solid academic path, and that profound desire to make a difference in the world one day. She's truly found her own direction, defining her future on her terms, completely separate from past expectations or social pressures.
Her relationship with Hayden is also clearly moving beyond fake into something truly authentic and deeply bonded.
You see them plotting that playful payback scheme against Beck, showing their mischievous side, but now it's rooted in established trust and genuine connection. It's a testament to their easy comfort with each other. Hayden even texts Nate from Beck's phone as part of the plan.
It shows their playful, collaborative dynamic. There's this beautiful ongoing connection and mutual support developing between them. Hayden is serving as Gia's confidant as she processes her complex friendship issues, offering comfort and profound understanding. They're truly partners now, navigating life's challenges together.
It's a testament to the unexpected depth that can emerge from the most unlikely beginnings. And we also see glimmers of friendship mending with Claire, Lainey, and even, surprisingly, Jules.
Right. While Claire's cold look at the rally and her mother's earlier blocking Gia from the door show the depth of the hurt and the long road still ahead for true reconciliation, the ending definitely suggests a path towards gradual healing.
Crucially, Gia's newfound understanding of Jules' struggles, her awful relationship with her mom, moving in with Claire because her mom is running from some guy again, allows Gia to reach out with genuine care. It initiates a potential shift in their dynamic, even if it's slow.
And Jules' "I'm sorry about Hayden" moment at In and Out, which was described as sincere, indicates that potential seed of empathy and maybe even reconciliation between the two former rivals. It's not all tied up neatly, but there's hope.
Exactly. So you followed Gia through this absolute whirlwind of a senior year, haven't you? From that desperate, impulsive lie at prom all the way to this journey of profound self-discovery and self-acceptance.
We've seen how external pressures, those perceived rivalries, and her own internal struggles profoundly shaped her path, but also how radical honesty eventually and the transformative power of these unexpected connections ultimately led her to truly find herself.
And for you, our listener, I think some key insights really emerge from this. First, beyond the likes, Gia's journey powerfully highlights that intense societal pressure to equate self-worth with external validation, right? So our insight here is to maybe question, what are the specific metrics we might unwittingly adopt in our own lives? And what strategies can we borrow from Gia's painful realization to consciously try and decouple our inherent value from that fleeting external approval?
That's a great question. And secondly, the courage to unearth deeper truths. We saw how seemingly perfect family dynamics, like Gia's, can often mask these significant underlying issues. What does this story teach us about the courage required to actually unearth and address those deeper truths if we want genuine connection?
And then there's the complexity of trust and forgiveness. We witnessed how a single lie can just spiral, fracturing trust completely, but also how vulnerability, empathy, and genuine effort can pave that long, often difficult road to reconciliation, not just with friends, but maybe even within ourselves.
Absolutely. And finally, that transformative potential of unexpected connections. How a fill-in boyfriend, this random guy in a truck, became so much more a catalyst for Gia's growth, her self-acceptance, and ultimately genuine, authentic love. It really challenges our assumptions about where meaningful relationships can truly originate.
So we leave you with this provocative thought to perhaps mull over. What masks do you wear to navigate your own social world? And what might happen if you dared, maybe just for a moment, to take them off? What truths might you uncover, not just about yourself, but perhaps about the genuine connections that might be waiting to form?